of the people here, after being in this satsang for so long, their faces was really like this, and now they are brightened up. Now they are having a smile on their face, which was not there when they came in, because that comparison which they were doing is somewhat lost. All that unhappiness about how their husband is not treating them, how their neighbor is not treating them, how their children are not treating them, all these are gone when you stop being in that state of measurement and simply be. A lot of things change. Oh, that is why this satsang is very important. These few minutes is only to understand why this satsang is important. I am talking the same thing in different ways. Olympics is fun, but don't make it into a serious affair. Fun of life. Don't get disappointed because India didn't get any medals. It is better India stops going to Olympics. Withdraw all. We don't want to compare. We don't want to beat anybody. If you want to beat yourself, beat yourself. All the countries beat yourself. We don't want to beat anybody. If you want to beat, you beat us in Vairagya, let us see. So we are all very happy to be born in this country. You must be most happy because you are born in this country. And if you don't develop Vairagya, you are the biggest fool in this world. With so much facility, with so many sites, with so many ashrams, free. Nobody needs to own any house in this country. There are so many empty ashrams. You can become a king in this world by developing Vairagya, not by acquiring wealth. So then what to do with your house? What to do with your house? Then I should not have a latrine bathroom. Build a beautiful house. Build a beautiful house. Most wonderful house. But better you build it for somebody else, not for yourself. If you have that Vairagya to build a beautiful house for somebody else, not for yourself, then you have won. Alright. So I am into this business of building nice houses for everybody. You want to join me, you can join. You ask people around me, they will tell you, I create beautiful houses, not for myself. I I build beautiful houses for others, so others can come and stay, enjoy and go. If they want to occupy, they can occupy, no problem. But they must build more beautiful house for somebody else. Correct now? There are many people around here who have been observing me for a long time, whom I stay with. I build beautiful houses, and their houses also have become very beautiful because of my presence. I built. They were living, even though they were very rich people, they were thinking that Vairagyam is living in very small house. Then I went and told, no, living in a small house is not Vairagya. Live in a beautiful house. Live in a beautiful house. But you make sure that you build for others and offer it to others. Whenever I go, see, I've built so many ashrams. So many ashrams. For many ashrams, I never gone for years together. So those ashrams, whenever I visit, they say, Guruji, please come. At least once in a while you should come and stay with us. I've built so many ashrams. They're inviting so badly. Whenever I go to an ashram, there is no beautiful home. I'm living in a small tent. There is no flooring also. Only roof is some plastic sheet. I'm not living in 5-star complex like this one. I go and stay in an empty place. No electricity, no water, no woofer, no nature. No? Then when I go and stay there, then first I found out what is a home. In Indian circumstances, what is a home? Anything, any plastic roof, any roof that will give you protection against sun and rain is a home. It need not have any flooring. Earth, whatever earth is there, that is the flooring. Only some protection from the back, from the top, so that you don't get sun and rain. That is a home. So I start with such a home. Where is the latrine bathroom? When you go to a big, we have got 200-acre land. So where is the latrine? Everywhere is the latrine. So when Americans have got 2 latrines, 3 latrines in their house, I have got million latrines in my house. I'm the richest person. You measure my latrine. I'm able to enjoy staying in such a place. It is most fantastic. So free. So free. Everybody wants a bigger and bigger latrine bathroom. We have got the whole universe. Latrine without walls. I enjoy it. Enjoy going under a tree, sit near a bush and enjoy it. So all these are great enjoyment which other people cannot get. In Pune, where will you go for latrine bathroom? Huh? You will have to go to Simgad or something. Without walls, latrine bathroom. far you have to go from Pune to find a latrine bathroom without walls? You have to go a long distance. Huh? So that is readily available to me. So I am very happy in this place also. Once I sit in that place, I start building a nice house. Always I am improving on the houses we build, depending on the climate, temperature, what kind of thing we must build. I study for some time and then I start building. Very, very beautiful places. Now we are building a house, a big ashram in Siddipet. It's a very different climate, terrifically hot, terrifically hot. How to build a nice house in that place, nice place. I've studied. I went around all of Siddipet area to find out what kind of houses they build and how they are enjoying their stay there in spite of so much heat. So I have discovered what is the thing to be done. Now I am improving upon it. With the cheapest cost, we get most extraordinary houses which they themselves will change. The architecture of the entire Siddipet area will change after they see our house. How it is to be done in this new age with so much materials available which are not present before. How to use that material and very, very cheap, fantastic, more than 5-star without air conditioning, natural air conditioning. How to do all this? So this is my way of living and offering fantastic homes to people. Why don't you follow? Okay. Oh, this is what I am telling you is Vairagya. Applied it to life. Vairagya is not just simplicity. The nearest word to Vairagya in English language is called simplicity. But that is not equivalent of Vairagya. Vairagya is being zero, without measurement. Vairagya is the highest quality of life, without measurement. No 5-star can compare to Vairagya life. You are happy if you are sitting in a railway station. You are very, very happy, as happy or happier than any 5-star. That is Vairagya quality of life. It doesn't mean poverty. It means extraordinary sharing, extraordinary love, possessing nothing, you have everything. That is Vairagya. Only zero and infinity are one and the same. All others are all measurement, which is all poverty. So that in between zone is all poverty. So all of you must now learn to spend more and more time in this zero. Once you are able to understand fully and live zero, then you are a Jivan Mukta. Until then you are comparing, quarreling, wondering. Jai Gurudev. Today was a most wonderful satsang. Probably the greatest satsang ever happened in the world happened today. But I say the same thing for the last one also. The next time also you will get the same thing. The greatest, the most wonderful, absolutely miraculous satsang in the world. This cannot be delivered by people who are not in zero. So this is not a teaching. This is just an expression of being. This cannot be repeated. This cannot be thought about. This cannot be written down and then read. Like most of the, in all the Bible, I go to churches, they read from the Bible and they quote. It is not the state of being of the preacher. It is just some dictation from somebody. He is just reading to remind you. But that may also have some help. But the real teaching comes without any note paper. I found that I never take a paper for any presentation. Whenever I take a paper, it means there is some business going on. I very rarely do business, so I don't require paper. A business becomes established when you sign on the paper, on the dotted line. I never sign on any dotted line. Not required. I don't have any property. No transaction to deal with anybody. I am free. Because I am inside free, that I am outside free. You don't try to become outside free by giving up your money, by giving up your house, by giving up all these things. You will find yourself in great trouble. First you give up your identity. First you give up yourself. Then all these things follow automatically. It is not the other way around. So if somebody watches me and tries to follow what I am doing, they will be in deep trouble. Don't watch my actions and try to follow. I am not an example for you. I can only tell you, do this sadhana. Out of this sadhana, this state will come. But don't follow my way of life. Impossible for you to follow. You will be in deep, deep trouble. This nobody has told. In the normal world, they want you to become an ideal example for others. You should become a role model. And everybody expects you to become a role model. So a lot of people think that they should become role model. And they suffer a lot in trying to become a role model. Because who they are and what they are. Who the other person is who they are. So it is impossible. Nobody should become a role model. Everybody should be what they are. So this trying to become a role model gives lot of pressure. For example, all our film stars, they are very famous. Because of that, they have to be a role model everywhere. Now they cannot go and have a cigarette also, poor fellows. Because if they take a cigarette and if somebody catches them with a camera, their whole name, fame, everything is gone in 1 minute. By simple act of holding a cigarette, that fellow is now sent to the dustbin. Okay. Don't try to be a role model. It is the most dangerous thing. Be yourself. And who you are really is nothing. So you realize who you are rather than trying to be somebody. Okay. So to discover who you are as a nobody, that is sadhana. Trying to become a role model, this is materialism. And realizing you are nobody, this is spirituality. But people confuse these two. People confuse role modeling with spirituality. Be a good example for the whole world. Oh, it is very dangerous. So all these movie stars, they all die in great deprivation. They cannot meet anybody. They cannot go anywhere. If they try to go anywhere, 500 people will try to chase them. So anybody who tries to become famous becomes a prisoner. Why they want to become famous? They think that is going to give them freedom. But actually that is giving them poverty. Oh, never try to become a famous person. It is the most dangerous thing in the world. Always be happy that you are a nobody. More and more nobody you are, the better. But really, it will not come by trying to be nobody also. It only comes by being nobody. Okay? Not by trying to be nobody. So, this satsang is very important. This going into silence is very important. Being with others in silence is very important. Sharing with others is very important. Developing vairagya is most important. Now, many of you must think how to apply this in your own lives. For example, you are a doctor. Oh, how you can become a spiritual doctor? First is you must understand spirit. After you understand spirit, then by a spiritual doctor has got a lot of spirit into the medicine. So, our blood pressure cure, diabetes cure, all that happening through SSI is because of spiritual medicine. It is not because of pills medicine, material medicine. Secondly, if you really want to become a great spiritual doctor means a free doctor. Okay? What is the greatest doctor? A free doctor. Okay? What is free? Not only your medicines are free, but you are free in the first place. Your freedom must show up in terms of, for example, she says, who is going to look after my clinic if I am not there? That means you are already imprisoned by the clinic. You are a fool doctor. So when you build the clinic itself, you must make sure that other people share and take care of the clinic when you are not there also. When you share the clinic with so many people, you are a free doctor. Okay? Oh, this is application of spirituality into building a clinic. Okay? So in every way we can think of how to apply our spirituality into all aspects of our life. Now you know about building a house, building a clinic, being a doctor, being a businessman, free businessman. How to be a free business? Have other people become your associates so that without you the business runs. Everything is transparent. Nobody has to ask for transparency because so many people are owning the business. Then you are free. You are not stuck to your business. You don't have to go every day. Without it, it will not work. It is not. So this internet is a great opportunity. You can operate from anywhere in the world, just like me. Every day I'm in different town, different city, different thing, but our work goes on. With lots of love. If I'm not there, it works better. If I hold on to one player, then everybody thinks that Guruji is going to look after. But when I come out, they know they have to look after. So more people participate. If you own without making other people own, then it becomes a big headache. Don't own anything without having at least a few more people own it fully. Don't own anything without number of people owning it fully. Similarly, with owning a child also. Don't own a child without having lots of people own the child. Or else you will be in big problem. Trying to bring up the child alone will be a hell of a problem. Okay. You can apply Vairagya to every field. Now it is up to you. Then some people, smart people will come and ask, what about marriage also? Now we are all having some Christian ethics which have been developed over so many periods. And normally everybody is expected to follow the Christian ethics. But Muslims don't follow Christian ethics, they follow their own ethics. I don't know what these countries will do when a person, Muslim person, with 4 wives apply for immigration. What they do with him, I don't know. Okay. They will not allow the person to come inside. Probably, I don't know. But this immigration and all are all new problems in the world. It was not there before. When sufficient number of Muslims occupy a country, then they bring their Shariat law and they remove all these Christian laws. Now, all these countries with these kinds of laws will have a lot of problems. So they are not really bastions of freedom, which they claim themselves to be. The real bastion of freedom is only India. There is no other country in the world which is a bastion of freedom. Our constitution also, Indian constitution, is very much British constitution. It has to be reworked, remodified, and all the rules and regulations that was put in as a matter of working process. We are adopting the same processes that was used by the British long time back. We are afraid to change the laws. Basic foundation we are afraid to change because we feel there will be a lot of chaos. How to make this transition? So a person like me should become the conqueror of India and change all the laws without fear, based on the ethics of freedom, on true freedom, not based on the ethics of appearing to be freedom. So the real law of the world is not any of these constitutions. The real law of the world is the laws of the saints. The laws of the saints is the real law of the world. The saint is the real example. And laws of saintly life must become the laws of the world. How many people know the laws of their country? Huh? I'm asking, how many people know the laws of their country? Do you all know the laws of your country? Okay. Nobody knows the laws of the country. All that is bullshit. All that constitution is all bullshit. Because nobody knows. Okay. Now, let me ask. So, do the lawyers know the laws of the country? Do the lawyers know the laws of the country? If they knew the laws, you don't have to go to two lawyers. This person goes to one lawyer, that fellow goes to another lawyer. Why? If they know the law, they must give the same law. Why two lawyers are required? Because they are confused about the law. They go to the court. Okay, let me ask whether the court people, whether all these judges, whether do they know the law? If he knew the law, why he requires lawyers first of all? Okay. Correct now? And if this lawyer knows, or this justice, honorable justice, great honor, that fellow is sitting there. You have to call him honorable justice. A fellow is a fool. He is being called an honorable justice. And that fellow, you ask him whether he knows the laws. He also does not know the law. Otherwise, why there is a higher court? Okay. So, do the high court lawyers know the law? They also don't know the law. They will refer it to the Supreme Court. So, nobody knows the laws. Okay. All these laws are all bunkum. Then what is the law which is working in the world? I tell you, the law of the saint is only working in the world. The law of the saint is only working in the world. You all agree or not? So, the whole world is not ruled by presidents, prime ministers. All the world is ruled only by gurus. Especially India is only ruled by gurus. They are not ruled by anything. In all these other places, they have confusion. Maybe they are not very confused because they have not seen a saint. Whatever they write up, they think that is the law, they execute without understanding. Jai Gurudev. Now today great exposition on Vairagya, which is the real law of the world. Okay. Vairagya is the real law of the world. And we must develop ourselves in Vairagya. Then you are living very happily. We must all learn to be happy for no reason. And that is the secret of Samadhi. All of yoga is only this. Nobody has expounded this in this way, as far as I know, for millions of years. Even during Upanishadic times, I don't think they had realized many of these things. Especially about love, about wealth. I don't think people had realized. about beauty, I think very few people realize. I am asking you a simple question. Okay. What makes another person or another object very, very beautiful for you? Not only that, how to make any person